Hello again, everyone. My name is Sandy R. Mays, and you're watching the Overcoming Addiction channel. Here on this channel, I share my thoughts on how we can better address the problems of substance abuse in our communities, and also how we can come up with personal solutions to overcome the problems that we have with abuse in our personal lives. Today's title is called Completing the Recovery Process. And it's a 3-part series that I'm going to do on this topic. It's a continuous discussion on the effectiveness of treatment programs, which is follow-up to my previous video. So please come back and watch the video. Thank you. Before I get into the video, I want to give a shout out to a dear friend of mine. Her name is Bernita Outlaw. She is the CEO of Shakespeare Rose Culinary Kitchen LLC, located at 62nd and St. Lawrence in the Woodline area. I'm going to post a menu up and you can take a look and see what she has to offer. She is a great person. They offer great service and she has a great personality. So if you live on the south side or in the Woodline area, please stop by and pay her a visit. She does catering 5 days a week, but she's open on the weekends for breakfast from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. That's Shakespeare Rose Culinary Kitchen, 62nd and St. Lawrence. Thank you for tuning in, and I want to thank those who have already subscribed to the channel and to those who have purchased my books. I really appreciate your support. In this video, I'm going to continue to express the importance of getting help for substance abuse through treatment programs. In the previous videos, I have talked about the importance of treatment programs and how they work. This is the first video of a 3-part series describing the importance of starting and completing the recovery process. So let's get started. So we're talking about completing the process or completing the recovery process. And I'm reading this from a script that I wrote particularly for this video because it has some information and it has a lot of information. And I want to make sure I didn't forget to bring all of it to you. Because of the complexities of today's street drugs, the process of recovery will be just as complex. New forms of treatment for drugs such as fentanyl and tranq will have to be formatted. The evolving landscape of substance abuse involving these new and potent drugs demand innovative and extended treatment approaches. This means that there will need to be what I'm calling an extended treatment process, which will require extended treatment sections. Each section will focus on a particular phase of treatment for an extended period. Now, currently, there's a minimum of 28 days and a maximum of 90 days offered by treatment programs. But with these new drugs, the treatment process may need to extend beyond those periods and become sectioned off into phases. In this series on how treatment programs work, I'm going to share my thoughts on the 3 areas where treatment programs can have a significant impact. These 3 areas will be phases of treatment that will require extended attention. These areas are of the mind, body, and the spirit, or the physical health treatment phase, the mental health treatment phase, and finally the spiritual health treatment phase. Each phase could be tailored to the individual's progress and needs, since substance abuse levels vary from individual to individual. This will ensure a comprehensive and personalized approach to recovery. In this video, which I'm calling part one of completing the recovery process, I'm going to introduce the physical health treatment phase, which is a two-step process that I think should be used for the restoration of the physical body. Now there's step one, which I call the physical detoxification period, followed by step two, which I call the extended physical stabilization period. Substance abuse impacts every organ of the body. In fact, anything we put into our bodies has some level of impact on every organ. The impact felt depends upon the level of the substance absorbed by our bodies. Harsher substances have a harsher impact. During my decades of substance abuse, I was unaware of the full damage I was inflicting on my body. I could only recognize the physical symptoms of withdrawal that occurred when there was no drugs in my system. Those symptoms were very painful at times, but what I didn't know was that I was destroying cells in many areas of my body. Now, I had the misfortune of having what is known as a dual dependency. I was addicted to heroin, but I was also a heavy crack smoker. And smoking anything for long periods does damage to our lungs, some which are irreversible. And because of the harsh chemicals used to cut the heroin I was using, the lining in my stomach was being eaten away. And it's also quite possible, and I have no facts to actually back this up, but it's quite possible that the elasticity of my blood vessels were weakened because the heroin lowered my heart rate, which didn't exercise the elasticity of my vessels. Opioids are pain suppressors, which heroin is an opioid. So many of my pain receptors were interrupted, causing me to not recognize when there was something I needed to address until it was too late. And the irregular function of my bowels allowed toxins to build in my body, which had an impact throughout my body. These are symptoms that can be corrected during the first step of the physical detoxification period of recovery. But it is possible that some of these symptoms may lead to other physical conditions that could remain with a person for the remainder of their lives. This is where the extended treatment comes in. The physical detoxification period is usually a medicated-assisted period designed to safely manage the treatment of the withdrawal symptoms, especially for those of us who use heroin, opioids, and I'm guessing it will have to be used for those using this new synthetic drugs that are on the street, namely fentanyl and Train. All substances may not successfully be treated using the same method. The new synthetic drugs, like the ones I mentioned earlier, will require an innovative approach to successfully treat them. Medically assisted treatment strategies will also have to adapt in order to have a greater impact on these and future synthetic drugs. These drugs have a much more serious effect on anyone who uses them, which is why I'm suggesting that there be an additional step in the physical health treatment process, which I'm calling an extended physical stabilization period. The extended physical stabilization period. This period would be designed to allow for the repair of the more serious damages to organs that have taken place over the duration of the substance abuse. In particular, damages from the new synthetic drugs, which do a lot more damage than the drugs I was using. Many users experience damages to organs such as skin, which leads to open sores. Then there's damage and causes blurry vision, hair loss, and with some of these new synthetic drugs, there is blood vessel damage that can lead to amputations. Vital organs such as heart, liver, kidney, and lungs will be affected by the use of these new drugs. Extended abuse of these drugs can lead to heart disease, COPD, asthma, liver, and kidney failure. Also, many immune deficiencies, or many levels of immune deficiencies. Given the complexity and the severity of these health issues, a comprehensive and long-term treatment plan is essential. Over time, organs will regenerate themselves if there has been no extensive damage, and of course if we stopped using drugs. But if vital organs have suffered extensive damage, the individual will need to be treated and stabilized. A person with vital organ damage may require treatment for the remainder of their life. And with these new drugs, we are still finding out what and how they will impact the user's life. Extensive damage to vital organs could also cost a person their lives. This is and always will be the danger of substance abuse. Now, part of this extended physical stabilization period should involve 1. Continuous monitoring and treatment of vital organs like heart, liver, kidneys, and lungs. 2. Regular checkups and specialized care for these and other vital organs. 3. Focus on restoring overall health through proper nutrition, which can aid in the regeneration of some organs and improve overall well-being. 4. Physical therapy and exercise programs to help rebuild strength and mobility, especially for those who have suffered severe physical damage to muscles or limbs. 5. Mental health support for those who have suffered amputation due to the neglect of infected limbs as a result of those who have used the new synthetic drugs. As I said, these new drugs such as tranq and fentanyl are very deadly. This combined detoxification and stabilization process can provide a more comprehensive and personalized approach to recovery. It is a challenging journey, but with the right support and treatment, recovery is possible. Join me for the next video where, please be on the lookout for from part 2 of this series, where I'm going to talk about the psychological impact of substance abuse. And please, for those who haven't already, pick up a copy of my books, The Effective Use of Spiritual Tools and The Pressures of Addiction, Finding the Way Out. In those books, I talk about my struggles with addiction and how I overcame them. At the end of this video, I'm going to put up information where you can purchase the books and also where you can reach me. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. Start a discussion about these issues among your family and friends. If you know someone that is struggling with substance abuse, please suggest or recommend that they tune into these videos, and hopefully they'll get something out of it. So until the next video, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching Overcoming Addiction.